Good morning guys, Chris the Ultimate Recycler. Welcome back to the channel. We're in the emergency storage shed this morning and we're going to find money. I know that for sure because we had a peek in the next box on the last episode and I can see a tin full of old pennies. I don't know what else is in the box. I think it came from years ago. A guy cleaned out an old workshop, an old garage, and I was rummaging through his rubbish trailer because he was getting very ruthless and I was pulling stuff out as quick as he was throwing it in. This is one box. I do remember finding some coins, so didn't go through them, haven't been through them since, shoved them aside. They've been buried in my storage shed. Now's the day we're going to get them out and have a look. Don't know what else is in the box, so come with me and we'll unpack it. And here's the box here. I honestly, it's been just moved from my storage container at the back of my old shop. It got moved here when we had to vacate that premises, and I've never ever looked in it from the day I packed it. So let's go through it. Hopefully we can find more than just a few pennies, which we can see in there. Oh, there might be a key date one perhaps. Now there's not many old Australian pennies that are worth money. There's the famous 1930 penny that's quite rare and worth many thousands. I think you'd put a decent deposit on a house these days. But there's a lot of fakes around as well. There's a 1923 halfpenny or half penny that's worth a few thousand, but condition is everything. And there's a few other dates, I think 1946 and a couple of others that are just more than $1. Most pennies I just sell at $1. So we're unlikely to find anything valuable, and they don't look to be in very good condition, but it'll be fun going through them. Don't know what this is, and we have let's have a look. Okay, let's unpack this first. We'll go through the pennies later. This is a vinyl, I'm guessing maybe a men's grooming set. They're quite common. Yes, it is. It's fairly complete. It's got a razor. It's got a clothes brush, two clothes brushes. A nice jar here. I'm not sure what's in that. Oh, a shaving brush. Yeah, I think just a shaving brush. The jar's probably is original. It fits, isn't it? So we'll check that out a little bit more detail in a minute, work out a price. I'm keen to get into here and see what's wrapped up in paper. It looks like a pottery vase. Oh, there we go. 1950s era, probably Diana. It doesn't actually say. Diana Pottery was a Sydney potter around that era. Nice drip glaze. I think it's certainly an Australian pottery piece. But yeah, there's no mark on the base. I think that appears to be undamaged. No chips around the top. I think that's probably a $25 or $30 vase, so that's all right. Would have been in the guy's rubbish trailer. There was a lot of, I think it was a deceased estate, and there was a lot of old household stuff in this garage, and they were just doing a quick clean up to sell the property. Okay, just a print on a plaster frame. Little hanging loop at the top. Looks kind of 50s. The scene's much older, but the frame I think is a 50s era plaster one. Not much value, maybe $5. What is in here? There's a lot of paper. Was that just for the vase? Oh, okay. Not overly exciting. We do have some more frames. That's a photo. There's another plaster one with the piece totally missing, so we might bulk them up and sell them in one lot. That's a postcard. I thought it might be. I don't know where. Just a nice Federation era house, sort of circa 1900s. Don't recognise it around here. It's in a little frame. There's nothing written on the back other than postcard. Kind of cute. It's probably, I would suggest that's probably a 1920s era frame. And the postcard's probably from that era as well. So we have some more little prints and frames and things in here. Oh, there's some more. Are these plaster ones? Yes, I think they are. It says $25 the pair. Someone must have bought them one time from an antique shop. They're quite nice. They're early 1900s. Does that look weird to you? Has her head been twisted round the opposite direction? So, yeah, maybe into the 1920s. They look at Art Nouveau, so 1910 through to 1920 perhaps. It says made in Japan on the frame. Anyway, they're quite nice. They should probably still get their $25 a pair, I think. They don't have stands. They're supposed to hang. That one hasn't even got a hanger. But yeah, they'll go okay. No glass in them. It's just a print. Here's a nice little looks like a watercolor. Looks like it's probably an original. In an older frame, maybe 1940s. Looks like it says a Crimson Wren, and I don't know that name. I'll have to do some checking there, but that looks like an original. All right, we have more in here. These look very 50s era frames. Just some floral decoration. What's it say on the back? Has phone MW2598, so that's a very 50s era phone number. That's the picture framer and manufacturer in Footscray in Melbourne. And they'll just be prints, some roses here. And I'm not really up with my flowers, not whatever they are. So they're actually in pretty good condition. Glass needs a bit of a clean on them all, but we'll sell them as a set of 3. We might get 15, maybe even 20 for those. I don't think the actual subject is that popular. Here we have a little travel clock, plastic case, so probably into the 70s. 2 jewels, little wind-up movement. The case has got a crack in it, unfortunately. Whoops. And that's just a little plastic liner. So a lot of these travel clocks around in the 50s and 60s. This one's a 70s era one, and it feels like they really cheaped out. It feels like the last of the classic travel clocks, but made from very cheap materials. And after this, they probably went to something else. I don't know, but they seem to be quite popular in that era, mainly the 60s, I think. The hinge is a bit bent. I don't know if it works. We'll check that out. If it does work, we might get $10 for it, but it's a bit damaged. All right, not much left in here. A couple more frames. They look like they could be originals as well, but they're not very inspiring. Little wire hangers, heap of masking tape on the back, probably 1970s. I think they'll just be in the dollar box or the free box. Oh, there's one more of those. So there's a set of 3. We might get $5 for the set of 3. We could be ambitious, at least try that. That's the end of our box. That's just going to be torn up and go in the recycle bin. Don't need that box. We'll bring the camera closer and we'll see what coins we've got. Just before we get to the coins, we'll tidy up the rest of this stuff. I tried to wind the clock. It doesn't go. It's got some screws missing from the back too, so that's just going to be a $5 novelty or a prop. It's not worth trying to fix it. I do have some travel clocks put aside to fix, but that's just a cheapie that I don't want to waste time on. What did we find here? I did check out the artist's name. Looks like F. Bruckner. Could not find any reference to it. So I think it's a nice print. Oh, sorry, it's not a print. It's a nice original watercolor. I think we'll put $20 on that. It's really mid-century, and it's quite a classy piece. I think he did a good job. This one, I put some age-appropriate nails in the back just to hold the postcard in position. I always keep rusty nails for certain jobs, and I think we'll get 5 for that. I couldn't identify where it was from, but it's a nice early piece, original, what they call a real photo postcard, and it's got the Kodak name on the back there, so we'll try for 5 on that. These ones cleaned up quite nicely. They are original. They've got someone's initials on them, but I think it's just a home hobbyist. We'll try and get 5 for those 3. These ones, I think we'll go 15 on the set. They cleaned up okay. They're in reasonable condition. They've all got hangers on them. And I forgot to look up what sort of flower that is, so if you know, put it in the comments. The other one's roses, and I think that looks like a poppy. These ones we'll investigate a little bit further because I think there's something pretty interesting when we open the back. I just had a bit of a peek and I closed it, and we'll have a look together in a minute. This gent set in here, how did we open it again? That way. It's not all original, it's missing some parts. The razor I think is original, and it's one of the nice opening ones where you turn the thing out and they open up like an alien mothership waiting for the little fighter planes to land. It's quite a nice little razor. I'd get at least 5 for that on its own. This centerpiece is it's in a little case, is the leather strop for sharpening your razor. So that's quite nice to have that. Looks like it's hardly ever been used. I don't know that they were used for the disposable razor blades that these took. Maybe they were. Not sure. The jar is, I think, original, and in the early sets, this lid would be sterling silver. This one's not, so it's a later type jar, but sometimes you see these jars around where the lids do have hallmarks on them. But this set's a little bit later. It's probably, I think, 1950s or 60s. I think that's the original clothes brush, and that one's a ring-in. There's a fair chance that had a soap container there instead. But anyway, we'll leave them all together. And I think just $10, and I went for that because it already has $10 written on it. And I'm beginning to think some of this stuff did not come from that garage that I was talking about. So I'm not sure. Perhaps the box has been mixed up with some stuff. I'm pretty sure the pennies came from that place. These ones, let's have a look at these now, and then we'll get on to the coins. Now, this one, it's got some swivel things. I thought I'll just have a look to see if it is just a print or if there's anything, behind it, like someone stashed a £10 note back in the old days. And it's a postcard. Now, this is as far as I looked, and it's been cut down, unfortunately. But it will have a date on it. So someone's cut half the message away. And does that say Queenie? Forwarding to you. And we're only getting half the sentences, unfortunately. Miss, I think it does say, oh, maybe it isn't Queenie. And it has an address there, Punt Road, St Kilda in Melbourne. And it looks like the date is 23rd of the 3rd, 1907. And that would fit with the Queen Victoria stamp. So there we go, a nice early postcard. Does that mean these date to about then? I reckon that's around about the era. I thought 1910, maybe up to 1920, but probably closer to 1910. Maybe the 1907 is when these were first used. Now, should we open that one to see if there's anything written? I think we should. We can't not. It's got some old electrical plaster tape or something on the sides. But if we swivel these clips around, if we can, or are they held in by the tape? I don't like disturbing these things too much, even though the tape is clearly not original. There we go, it's going to lift off the frame. That will do. Okay, oh, this one just has a bit of card in the back. So, no cash. And this one doesn't look like it's a postcard, but this one looks like it was actually 3D pressed. So it's a raised picture of a lady with a very out there hairstyle. I'm not sure what you'd call that hairstyle. But yeah, quite Art Nouveau again, holding a flower. Classic, very early 1900s scene. So there's no glass in these. And just looking at this, that's a metal front. So I'm not sure if the back is plaster or timber, but it's a metallic front to these. And I wonder if they've been painted, obviously, in a gold paint. You can see the metal on the high points where it's worn. Let's look at the other one. Oh, it's actually cracked. So, yeah, you can see the silvery bits. Some of these frames were sterling silver, but I don't think these are. A little bit of greenish there, could be some verdigris, so it's possibly a silver-plated metal, not so much a die cast, because I think it's been kind of moulded. It might be what they call a Britannia metal, and it would have been silver-plated. You can see it's been bronzed in the corner there, perhaps. So there was a chance that these could have been sterling silver, but the back part is possibly a timber backing for it. I don't think it is plaster. All right, pretty cool. I think 25 the pair is a good price. We'll stick with that. And that's the original backing paper. You can see very Art Nouveau florally designs there from the early part of the 1900s. So this one's in better condition, I think. I think they probably would have had a stand. There's a little slot here. I reckon they would have had a fold-out cardboard stand, so you just prop them up on your dressing table. And this one, Even though it's a postcard, it does look to have a signature on there. I should probably try and decipher that. And I don't think her head is on backwards. It's obviously the style of dress she's wearing. But first impressions looked a bit creepy. So there we go, 1907 postcard with the stamp. Very interesting. Now, time to see if we've got any treasures in here. Are they all copper? Oh, there's a medallion of some sort. Mostly copper. Mostly pennies and halfpennies. Oh, there's some 2 cents and 1 cent, so more modern coins. There's an English halfpenny. Looks like 1940. So, and there's an Australian 1963. So I think it's just going to be a matter of quickly sorting them out, pulling out anything different. There's a little pendant, and I think that's, what's it say? Oh, it's a religious one, I think. Love one another as I have loved you. 20th International Eucharistic Congress, Melbourne, 1973. Don't think it's going to have much value, but it's curious. What's this one? I can't even read that. Is it Latin, I think? Looks like it was another... Oh, no, it's not a pendant. It's just a medallion of some sort. So I don't know that off the top of my head. I can't read any of it. Looks Latin. Looks maybe 70s again. I don't think it's going to have a lot of value. A lot of English pennies in here. That's 1919. That one's a very rough English penny as well. What's this silver one? Commemorative medal collection. Oh, that's a Clashes of the Ashes. That's possibly one, just a collectible one out of... it's a promotional product. It could have been with the newspaper or, you know, collect the whole team or something. So not legal tender. Here's another one. So, oh, and another one. I don't think they're going to be worth anything much. No, this is different. Australia's 200 years bicentennial medal collection. Australian rules football. So it's another collectible one. Not well, one was cricket, one was football. A very worn English penny there, 1917. So it looks like we just have pretty much not much more than copper scrap metal. I do sell the pennies at $1 each. We're obviously not going to get that for the 1 and 2 cent coins, but I have sold them in bulk before. Technically, it's illegal to put them in the scrap metal, because even though we don't use 1 and 2 cent coins in Australia anymore, they are still considered legal tender. And if you send them to scrap or melt them down, technically it's a crime. But I have had success selling them in bags in the shop. I think there are some 2 cent coins of certain dates that are quite valuable, certainly much more than 2 cents. But I'm not going to spend time looking through all those. That's not an Australian one. That says, I think it says New Penny. Where's that from? It's got Queen Elizabeth on the back. Don't know that one. That one looks like it's been through the mill, been hit by a lawnmower. I could probably get away with dropping that in the scrap bin. Not sure about pennies, because I don't think they're considered legal tender anymore. That one's not very good. And once you get that verdigris on them, it's almost like a coin cancer, and it can actually almost spread to other coins. These have been dug up, I think. Someone may have been metal detecting. But when they're in that condition, I think I'll drop them in the scrap bin. There's another halfpenny that's pretty rough. People will scream never clean coins, and generally it's a good guide. But if you've got a very common date, it's really not going to hurt. But you need to check out that it's not a rare coin first. And as I said before, I sell most of these coins, particularly the Australian ones. There's a lot of English ones in here. So particularly the Aussie ones, I'll sell at $1 each. 1924. Someone might buy that because it was their grandparents' birthday or some special date. Certainly the later ones, like 1960s, that's 1928. That's in good condition for a 28 penny. But it's not a key date that I know of. But yeah, they made them through in Australia right through to 1964. That one's 1963 halfpenny. And someone 1 year older than myself might buy that because it's the year they were born. So, all right. Real mixed bag here. Some of them extremely worn. You can barely make them out. That's 1894. But very, very worn. Potentially only scrap metal value on those, but I might group them together and sell a bag of early English pennies, you know, maybe just for $5 or something. We'll probably get better than scrap for price. Okay, I'll sort these out and be back with you shortly. So I got into a meditative trance and sorted out all these coins. It's kind of fun sorting them out. Nothing fantastic. Some interesting bits. These ones are going in my scrap bins. They're all got some corrosion or badly beaten up. Some of them may have been through a fire. Speaking of which, this one I think has been through a fire, and it's actually a florin, 1958 I think, and it clearly looks like it's been very hot. So that was no real value. The 1958 florin I think had a mintage of about 8 million or something, so it's not a rare coin anyway. It is 50% silver, so that's going in my silver stash, probably worth about $5 or so as silver. But yeah, worth nothing as a collectible coin. It was nice to find that though. All these are UK coins, mostly halfpennies. Some of the ones with the sailing ships on them. Some pennies. This one was a UK coin. It's a new pence, and all you UK people would have been laughing at me. I haven't seen one before. Well, I've never really paid much attention, to be honest. The oldest halfpenny I found was this one, which I think is 1863. And a couple of pennies here. This one is 1884. And this one's a fraction smaller. It's a bit rough, but it's actually 1850. Oh, where was the date? This side. 1851, I think. So it's possibly, you know, Goldfields. Well, it is Goldfields era in Australia. And they're slightly smaller. I guess the earlier ones were, I'm not sure. So not much value there. I will bulk them up and put a nominator price. It might be $10 a lot. I'm not sure. I'll work that out. All the Australian ones, mostly halfpennies. There's no key dates there. Only 2 pennies. Again, no key dates. I'll be asking $1 each for those. So I didn't actually count them, but that'll add up to a little bit. We found 1 US dime. So not much individual value there. A pile of 1 and 2 cent coins. I didn't check any dates. I'll put them in a money bag, a little plastic bag at the shop, and work out a price. It will be a bit better than scrap metal, but not much. Those tokens, I think, will just go in a little $1 each pick or something. This one, the 73, was it? Medallion here. I might try $5, see how we go. And I was wrong on this one. This one's much earlier. 1934. It's an Italian bronze award medal for a fascist university student culture festival held in Florence. So quite Art Deco in its design. I couldn't find any for sale on eBay. This one's actually in pretty good condition. The high points are a bit rubbed. But I did find a coin and metal dealer in Italy, I think, had one for sale at €50, which is equivalent to 80-something dollars Australian. It hadn't sold. I'm going to put $30 in the shop, but I don't know where we're going to find someone that even will know what it is. But if anyone out there wants it, I'll $30 and I'll do free post on it for you. So if it ends up in the shop when we close, I shall throw it on eBay. So there we go. Nothing exciting in the coins, but it's always fun to sort through them. Let's get a list ready for this box. It's going to add up to a bit, actually. Indeed it has. I've just tallied the notepad and I've got a total here of $242. That's actually pretty good from a small box, and there wasn't any amazing treasures in it. I've got $62 here because we had 62 Aussie half pennies and pennies, or halfpennies and pennies, and they will sell. I've sold them for years, and every time I get a lot in, they always sell out. People pick them out for whatever reason. The UK ones I don't think will sell anywhere near as well, and I've just put a token $10 amount on that stack, and I've also got $10 worth a bit more for scrap silver than I thought. Probably even a bit more than $10, but you can see I just gave it a little bit of a scrub with some steel wool, which is, you're not supposed to do it on coins, but on a coin like this that's absolutely no value, I'm only keeping it for the bullion value. I want it to look silver and not like a dirty old penny. So about $10, close to $15, depending on the price of silver at the time. That's not too bad. What else have we got here? Oh, the scrap copper coins is about $2 worth of scrap copper. I went for 10 on that, I said. I looked up the 1 and 2 cent pieces on eBay. There's lots of bulk lots selling. They seem to work out about $40 a kilo consistently. That's a bit over a quarter of a kilo, so I've written down $10. So that's not bad. There wouldn't be $10 worth of 1 and 2 cent pieces at face value. So probably only $1, if that. I didn't add them up. So that's all right if we get 10 for that. And $30 I said for that medallion, the Italian propaganda one. Yeah, and the rest of the stuff, as I went through before, I don't think I've changed any prices. So there we go. Almost $250 from a box of clutter. The best value thing was what? Other than, well, they're $1 each, but the best individual value thing, I think I went 25 on the Aussie pottery vase over there, 25 on that pair. I think that's the best. Oh, $30 on the medallion there. So not bad at all. And another box out of the storage shed. And that takes us just over $33,000 out of that shed so far, with lots more to go. There's been some really interesting boxes lately. I hope you join me for the next episode next week, where we'll get the last bit off that shelf. We'll move another shelf out of the road. We just keep making space and exposing more concrete. Pretty exciting. I'm really happy about getting this space back. I can't wait to actually start setting that room up as a workshop. We could be 12 months off yet. I hope you hang around to see that. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.